Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer-songwriter, musician, and big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be Purify? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Purify, one of the last songs on Saint Anger, 10 out of 11 tracks, and that means we need to give a Saint Anger disclaimer. If you're new to this channel, you gotta know, we know about the snare, get over the snare. We're not talking about the snare here. We're gonna listen to this song analytically. I'm gonna stop it every once in a while whenever I hear something interesting. It may be very quickly, it may take a while. Whatever I hear, I wanna point it out because this is a learning experience for both of us. Then I'm gonna grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category has a scale of 0 to 4 with a grand total of 20 possible points. We'll find out at the end of the video if this song has what it takes to get to the top 20. Speaking of the top 20, I have a little bit of an amendment to make, so pull that board over. I want to point out that yes, Unnamed Feeling is not in 17th place, it's actually in 19th place. Sometimes I do these videos pretty quickly. I do not get paid for this, and I do have other things to do in my day, so I have to edit them as quickly as I can. I want to show you all real quick. This is what it looks like before I do any of my editing. You have just a basic blue screen in the back, and you have a little microphone here. Whoop. It's just an SM58. It's nothing special. I have this setup done, put together really quickly, and I fix it up like this, so that you all get something nice to look at. I'm doing this for you. So if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, more subscribers allows me to keep doing this and keep bettering my process. The more my process improves, the better these videos look and the less mistakes I make in the end. So sorry for the mistake. Thank you for catching it. I caught it too. I have a spreadsheet going, so know that when we get to the end of this journey, it will all be accurate. It's just the system that I'm using doesn't automatically update. So thank you for being here. Let's listen to this song. Here we go. I should also say before we start the song that this is one of my least favorite Metallica songs. So going in, there's a little bias, but I'm going to try my best to listen with open ears, open mind. It's okay. We're going to get through this together. All right, right off the bat, we have one of their coolest riffs. I will say that for as much as I hate, most of what I hate about this song is the lyrics and the performance of the chorus. I hate the sound of Purify, but I do really love this main riff. I think this riff is excellent. And actually, a lot of the riffs in this song are quite impressive. It's just the music that doesn't, or not the music, the words don't do it for me. I love that. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. It's just like the guitars are doubling, the drums are singling, right? The guitars are ba-dum, 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 but the drums are just psh, 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 just boom, get boom, get him. It's just such a cool riff. I could have gotten that wrong. Don't come at me that hard. They could have been doing ba-bum, pa-boom, ba-boom, pa-boom. All I'm saying is it's a really nice riff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, is it Leper Messiah? They have that riff where it's just shudjun, 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 shudjun. It doesn't have that suck in, but it's the snare and the kick. I don't know, there's something about the pattern that reminds me of that. So it's really cool.
Tear it down, strip the layers off my turpentine, old paint, old looks.
So they're playing in 6/4. It could be 3/4 if you want to call it 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. But I like to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's 6/4. It could be 3/4. You can argue about it in the comments below, but just be nice to each other, all right? Purify. Can't you help me? You're okay, I think you can convince me to call it 3-4. It does feel like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so yeah, I guess we'll call it 3-4 instead of 6-8. But we're back to 4-4 now. We're at my least favorite part of the song. I don't know for sure, but it feels like Bob Rock on the harmony. I know that we have James Purify, can't you help me? But then there's someone in the background going Purify, and they just don't have the right note at all. And it feels to me like I want to blame Bob Rock because I love Metallica. So I want to say that it's him, but it could be James. I don't actually know. You tell me in the comments below. That terrible voice that I can hear in the backing vocals, who is it? Let me know.
Won't you help me? Purify, you and I. Purify, you and I. Purify, can't you help me? Purify, won't you help me? You and I. Purify, you and I. Purify.
Help, I need to purify. So there's something about that riff. It just like I get what they're going for. It's nice. It feels like the chorus. Da, na, na, na. It's kind of a chromatic climb down and climb back up. The harmonies are really clashing for me. It's making it dissonant. It's probably intentional, but it just doesn't feel right. And then you have this better not, better not, better not, better not. This little lick, purified, you and I, and the drums are just baka 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 baka, and I don't know, just it's annoying to me. It feels elementary. It feels like a new songwriter, and I guess if they're trying to recapture their youth, if they're trying to go back to their roots, successful, this feels like something they would probably put on Kill 'Em All, maybe, but just not. I don't know. It just. Purify, won't you help me? Purify, purify, you and I. I mean, they're making it memorable because they're saying the same words over and over, but it feels weird. It feels just kind of, it feels like they just needed to let it all out. Again, this song, they're just pouring out all these negative emotions and all that negative energy into the song. Does it make for a good song? It doesn't feel like it to me. It just feels like a bunch of I feel like it feels really good to hammer this out, to just play it as hard as you can, but it just doesn't feel fun to listen to, in my opinion. Let's keep going. This riff is the savior of the song. I love those stops just right before the whole band comes in. Like they were playing the straight riff. What did I say? Roof? They're playing a straight riff, and then there's a pause with just the guitar, and then they all come in. Really, really fun. Really cool. Back to 3-4.
Truth and dare, peeling back the skin. Acid wash, rose white, ultra clean. Wanna be skeleton, clear eyes, diamond eyes. Shoot the mastermind, my sweet flippin' tail. Purify, can't you help me? Purify, won't you help me? Purify, you and I. Purify, you and I.
Hot take. I'm gonna deliver an idea to you all, and you have to tell me what you think of this idea. I don't like the words to this song. I don't feel like the verse and the chorus are really giving us something golden. I do really like the main riff, and I do like what we're going into here. What if And hear me out. There is one song on this record, Saint Anger, that only has 3 guitar parts in an 8-minute song. What if we took some of these riffs and put them into that song and Frankensteined the two together to make Saint Anger better, and then just forget that Purify ever existed? Huh? What do you think? We could go from the chorus of, a medley in anger with yo, bum, ba-bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-ka, ba-dum, ba-ka. Ba-dum-ba-ka, ba-dum-ba-ka, and then this next part, and it would be a really cool breakdown. It would change up Saint Anger, and it would make the song a lot more interesting. Just saying. Let's keep going. Just for me. See, it fits. If I sang Saint Anger's like bridge chorus verse over that, it kind of fits. It's not terrible. I'm just saying, you'd have to sing it a little bit different, but I feel like it fits. I'm just saying, there's opportunities here. I have no complaints about, well, I have a couple of complaints about the music of this song, but mostly it's a pretty rockin' tune. I need something more from the vocals. Lyrically and performance-wise, it's just feels like a dead point in the record. We had such a nice song on the last song, and now we just got this kind of it sounds like somebody just screaming, and it's good that they needed that for their therapy, but it's just hard to listen to for me, man. I'm not into screaming. I'm not into just listening to people fall apart. I want to hear something for enjoyment. Is it artfully crafted? I don't know. Maybe it's intentional. I don't know. But it's hard to listen to. When I'm picking my favorite, I got so many other songs to go through. This is 87 or something like that. Song number 87. And so, I mean, just look at the list. Look at everything we've heard up to this point. It's hard to say that this matches with all of that. Just saying. Some guy on the internet. That's all. I love those offbeats. Nice, fun. Dancing with what might have been. Double kick. Did they just pull a 16 on me? Did they just pull a 16? I was trying to count, like they did the riff 4 times through, and I'm like, okay, they'll go to the next part. Oh, they're going to do it 8 times. Oh, wait, they're going to keep going? Did they just pull a 16? That it's such a cool section. The build-up is really cool. It almost sounds like the precursor, like the beginnings, the prequel to the end of the line. If you listen to the riff in End of the Line, and we'll talk about it in a couple more videos. We only got 2, 3 more videos before we get there. They have this riff that's I did the rhythm wrong, but it's kind of similar to that, but it's in standard tuning and it's kind of higher on the fretboard, but it's got a similar pattern to it, and there is kind of a snare build up just like that, so it kind of feels like it fits in with that. But anyway, that snare build is so fun, and it feels like it's going somewhere exceptional. And then when we first have it, we go into that straight pattern, and it's super fun. This time it builds and builds and builds, and then we go into this halftime chorus. Purify, and it just loses its. You can't build to nothing. You can't build us up and just drop us. I mean, you can do that. And I think I've said before that I like when that happens. Sometimes that's the key. It has to be done tactfully, and this doesn't feel tactful. I feel like I would rather do like instead of the da 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 da, instead of a 16th note build, do maybe an 8th note. Da 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 da. Purify. That fits the feel of the chorus a little bit more. Or maybe it's a different feel altogether. Maybe there's a different transition. I don't know. But this whole middle section, there was so many great parts, and then they pull that 16, repeat indefinitely, and then we're just building back to this. And I don't know, you guys. I don't want to be negative. I'm a positive person, but this song doesn't do it for me.
Purify, can't you help me?
You know, and I appreciate the build up too. There's like one voice going, I appreciate that feel, but just if we were going somewhere interesting, that would make a difference. But it just doesn't feel interesting to me. It feels wrong. It feels off. It feels like they're not even hitting the right notes. I don't know. But when we get to the next part, I want everyone listening at home, everybody watching this, I want you to just bang your fingers, just get all your aggression out. We're going to use this song that I don't like in a positive way. We're going to just beat out all the aggression, all right? Play it along to the beat. Just everything you got.
Can't you help me? Here we go.
All right. I hope you got all of your negative energy out. That was lots of fun. Now we have a brand new riff just for the ending of the song. I appreciate this riff. We have do 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 do, and then we have like a different, like a harmonized da 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 da. It changes just slightly. It's a climb, boo do do do, and then it's a chord da 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 da. Really cool change back and forth between the two, but it's an interesting riff. I like it. It just feels left over. It feels like an afterthought. It feels like the song is done, and then they're like, well, what if we just put another riff in? What if we just pulled some kind of monster, right? But it's a fine riff. Again, it's a good riff. I like it. It just doesn't fit the song. It's the chord. And that's Purify, everybody. You and I, Purify. We did it. We listened to it, and we're purified now. We did it. Congratulations. Let's give this sucker some points. Composition. If my base level of understanding of how a Metallica song works is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, they followed it to a T. It's pretty much the same as every other song. They get points for using a 3/4 or 6/4 verse, whichever you want to call it. They get points for having riffs that change, right? We have the main riff, and then that bridge section is a whole new piece, and it builds up and has a rocking middle section. They get points for having an interesting outro, even though it has nothing to do with the rest of the song. It is different. It is different from what the rest of their category looks like, so I can give them points there. Where I can knock them points is the amount of times the main riff repeats, not just in the opening, but also that part in the middle where I was like, where they pulled a 16, okay, get to it, get to the next part. We've heard this riff again. You don't need to do that anymore. So things like that. Also compositionally, you have to point out the vocals, the melody that they chose for the singing part for the chorus is especially, I don't know, I just find it to be cringeworthy. Even harmonizing, I wonder what it would be like without the harmonies. If it was just the lead line, maybe it'd be better. But then that whole purify, you and I, purify, you and I, it just feels like it feels like the end of the next song. Kill, 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 kill. It just feels like an aggression let out, and it's not actually fun to listen to. So there's a lot of things in this song that actually bring it down. So I want to give them points. Compositionally, I want to be fair. It is pretty standard, but I have to drop it down because it just feels like a misstep. They could have done so much better. They could have used these riffs in a better arrangement. They could have put them into another song. As I said before, they could have added a solo to make that repeating 16 times riff feel better. They could have done so many things, but it doesn't feel compositionally like it fits with the rest, which is unfortunate because that main riff is awesome. So anyway, compositionally, I got to give this one a 1. Memorability. On the other hand, I do have to grade these fair, and they do things in the song to make it very memorable. That thing being Purify. One word. Is this the shortest chorus that they have? Of all the choruses, most of them end up being 3 lines. Seek and destroy. Sad but true, right? But this one is just Purify. I know that they also say, can't you help me? But it's a call and response thing where the audience can pick up, Purify. Purify. We could learn that so easily. If they played this live and nobody had heard it ever before, we'd be able to sing it right away. So that's really interesting to me. So I don't know. And that main riff is pretty catchy. And even the ending riff is kind of catchy. Really a lot of catchy stuff in here. So memorability, I have to say, that's a 4. Emotional response. I did really come into this wanting to trash the song because, like I said, I don't like this song. But I'm surprised to know that my lowest rated song right now is at the number 3. The grand total is 3. This song already has a total of 5 points. So it's already doing better than Eye of Beholder. Eye of the Beholder. So I don't know. It's fine. I do have to say that the main riff is so fun and so energetic, and there's a lot of other parts of the song that are worth bobbing your head along to. So I do have to give it points for that. But I'm going to stick to it, though. I think that most of this could have been used in a better way, in a better song, and that the lyrics really pull this one down for me. Not just the lyrics, but the way that they're performed. So unfortunately, emotional response, I still don't like it that much. That's a 1. Instrumentation, they're all doing pretty fine. They're playing some basic riffs. It's not super hard. It's nice to get those chugs in. They actually do get pretty fast in this song. Metallica does all down picking typically, so they won't do any really difficult patterns in this song, but it is fast-ish at certain points. They could really use a solo. The drums get kind of weird with the baka 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 baka, and also that little ba-da-da in the chorus. I don't know, it just feels off to me, and I think that sort of ties in with composition, but I don't know, I just think that they could do a lot better, and the bar is high. That's all I can say. The bar is high. Instrumentally, it's a 2. Lyrics. I don't know what to say about this song, man. I just don't like what's happening. It's a list of items, which I usually applaud. It's not spoken word. It's just kind of, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. But the list feels sort of scrap. It feels first draft. It feels like, elementary. I don't want to say elementary. We'll give them junior high. It feels junior high to me. It just wannabe skeleton. What is that? You want to be a skeleton? I don't know. Sure, fine, be a skeleton. But I get the idea that they're trying to strip all the layers off, and they're trying to take away all of the indulgences that they had from the S&M era, and before that, they were known as Alcoholica. They're getting rid of that mantle and kind of trying to free up their minds and their lives and make peace with their past, right? They had a meeting with Dave Mustaine, and they made up they made up with each other. They found a new bassist. This whole tumultuous period in their lives is being refreshed. They're hitting a hard reset. They're hitting the button, right? They're control alt deleting. They're restarting their lives, and I get that. They want to peel the layers off, wash it off, make the skeleton clean. I get it. It means a lot, I suppose, but just something about the delivery. There's no real rhyme in the verses, and verses don't have to rhyme. I've said it before, they don't have to rhyme, but there's something about the order of operations, the way they come out, the staggered nature. It's just kind of choppy, and I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. Maybe on the page, it's a nice. I don't usually identify with poetry that's just written. Like I want some sort of pattern or rhyme. That's my own personal preference. There are people out there who write that style, who maybe it feels more spoken word to you, but I don't know. I feel like it's easy to just say, I walked down the street, and as I walked, there were birds chirping in the distance, and the sidewalk was long. If only I had what I was looking for. To me, that's okay. You could call that a poem. Sure, fine. I delivered it like a poem, I guess, but it doesn't feel like artfully crafted. I didn't have to think about that. I just made that up on the spot. And to me, a well-crafted song, I want you to sit down and like really work the words and like, okay, the order of the words matters. That's what I want. Now, I know that sometimes the words just flow out, and that's okay, but just this song doesn't fit for me. It doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Lyrically, I'm giving it a 1. And so Purify surprisingly gets 9 points. I thought it was coming out with 0, but the math don't lie. Although sometimes the math does lie when I'm editing a little bit too fast, as you saw earlier. But, whatever. Whatever. 9 points. It's in 67th place out of just 87. Oh, sorry. 68th place out of 87. And ironically, it's right next to Shoot Me Again and Invisible Kid. So a lot of Saint Anger just sitting in that 9 range. Whatever, it's fine. We're almost done with this record, and we're going to hear a lot more songs with a lot more positive points coming up. Let's take a look at some of the positive point songs. This is the top 20 list, corrected, with Unnamed Feeling on 19. Damage Inc. is on the chopping blocks, and 1 is holding its own on top, but I'm telling you, Death Magnetic is coming, and I'm a big fan of that record, so watch out, top 20. This is gonna change. Now it's your turn. In the comments below, using my methods, write out what score you would give this song and be honest about it. Do what I did. I came in here thinking it was my least favorite song, and lo and behold, what am I even saying? Lo and behold, it's much higher on my list than I expected. So do the math. You might be surprised. Make sure you check out Midnight Notion. I have music all over the internet. There's 3 albums that are, 2 albums worth listening to, and 1 that's, you can rip that one apart if you want to, because I rip it apart too. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow, I'm gonna hold you like a little tiny baby. You could be all within my hands. Thanks for watching. See you there.